A very warm welcome, everyone. I welcome you all to the first session of Machine Learning for Biomedical Drug Discovery Program. It's an online program which is co-hosted by Pine Biotech, Pharma Academy, Pharma Toppers, and Pro Biotechnica. So let me start with the introduction about us. We are a US-based bioinformatics company who is working with multiple academic and commercial collaborators to develop easy-to-use analytical tools, and our mission is to make bioinformatics more accessible. We are doing this by providing training and tools that help students and researchers make discovery using next-generation sequencing, data science, and other bioinformatics technologies and tools. OmicsLogic research-based training programs are a result of close collaboration between Pine Biotech and numerous academic institutions that have participated in content evaluation, curriculum review, and project design. And as a result, the OmicsLogic programs have been thoroughly tested around the world and are known to lead to excellent outcomes for students with minimal bioinformatics background, including biology and biomedical study majors, as well as faculty interested in bioinformatics, data science, and biomedical research. And my name is Analika Ray, and I'm the OmicsLogic Community Manager responsible for daily interaction with thousands of users that are a part of a bioinformatics community, which is managed by Pine Biotech. I'm honored to have been working with a company that collectively has amazing experience in this area, including the other co-founders of the company, Dr. Alfred Tauber, who comes from a medical background with an expertise in oncology, immunology, and biochemistry of inflammation. And one of his major projects is the establishment of the Tauber Bioinformatics Research Center, which has been at the core of what we do. Dr. Leonid Brodsky is the director of Tauber Bioinformatics Research Center and is an expert in bioinformatics and biostatistics. He has numerous publications in bioinformatics, and over the course of his career, he has developed multiple novel algorithmic approaches to biomedical data analysis, and these have been widely used in basic and translational research in biotechnology, pharmaceutical R&D, agriculture, and basic research. So our platform is a result of hard work by some of the people who are mentioned here on the right. Julia Panner, who is an expert bioinformatician and has helped prepare many of the materials that we would be using. Avi Titavsky, who is a computer scientist and leads the development of free bioinfo platform that we would use. Dr. Harpreet, she has an expertise in the applications of statistical machine learning techniques on biomedical data and the development of prediction tools and databases. And she looks after the curriculum development, bioinformatics and data science course development for the company. And then we have Dr. Mohit Mazumdar with us, who is an expert, who is experienced bioinformatician with multiple publications in peer-reviewed journals and collaborations in industry and academia. And over the past several years, he has been developing collaborations with universities as a mentor and project lead for OmicsLogic training and research fellowship. Now, coming back to the program, this program is designed to address the challenges associated with rapid growth of high throughput data, including omics technologies, which gave rise to data-driven discovery in life sciences. As a result, there is a significant demand for data science skills and experience with bioinformatics methods of analysis. Once a peripheral discipline, you could easily outsource bioinformatics as it is quickly becoming the mainstream in life science research. Many high-impact journals will only publish if a rigorous bioinformatics analysis is included in the results and methods portions of the publication. And in this course, we would explain the logic of bioinformatic analysis and allow for user-friendly applications of biostatistical and machine learning techniques to a variety of biomedical challenges. Now, I would like to pass it on to the Pine Biotech CEO, Ilya Brodsky, to take this session ahead. Over to you, Ilya.
Thank you, Sonalika, and great to see all of you here today. First of all, welcome to the program. And I want to kind of briefly outline how this program is going to be structured so that you're all aware of the topics that will be covered. And also, of how to make the most of your time in this program. So let me share my screen. So this program on data science is going to be a little bit different from the previous data science programs that we have done. So we have partnered with some additional partners like FABA, which is an association of biotechnology companies in Asia, and also pharma toppers that bring together experts from the pharmaceutical industry to give you an overview of how data science can be used, not only in the domain of biomedical data analysis, but also in other domains, which we will hear about in just a few minutes. But let me start off for those of you that are new to data science and how does data science relate to bioinformatics itself. So as you know, data science is the applications of information technologies, which are data storage, organization, and retrieval, different data formats and manipulation of data or data wrangling, the application of tools from statistical analysis and design of different types of tests to hypothesis testing, and then the specialization domain. What does it apply to? Because data science is such a broad topic and could be applied to literally any kind of data. So the interesting thing is that if you think about bioinformatics, it actually has all of the same components, except for in the application domain, it is specific to biological data. And so that's what makes data science in application to biomedical challenges so exciting, especially when you consider the amount of data and the different types of data that are being generated in a variety of biomedical research studies and translational research. So before we go on, I want everybody to take a pause from this presentation. We would love to get to know you, but also before we even get into the topics of the program, we want to share with you some free resources as we are getting started. So let's go on to our portal called learn.omicslogic.com. And I want to make sure that all of you here today are familiar with some of the free resources that you can get started with today. So this is the link. On this link, you will find a number of relevant resources. So you can log in first. Please let me know once you're here. Essentially, to log in, you go to the login tab, and you will see here that you can create an account with your email and password, or with one of the social media networks if you have a profile there. So please let me know how many of you have already created an account. You can put number 1 in the chat box if you have already created an account. All right, thank you, Emmanuel. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, if you have already created an account, you should be able to go to your profile. So on this profile, there are several important things to remember. On this profile, you will see your picture. Obviously, we want to have a name and a face so that we can connect with you. There are some social media accounts that you can connect to your profile. So we would love to stay in touch on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, know about your research work, and Twitter. So please update some of this information that you're comfortable sharing. You can also put a short blurb about yourself. So give us a sense of who you are. Are you a student? Are you a faculty member? Maybe you're already a trainer and an expert. So we would love to get to know you. And then what you will start seeing is as we go through the coursework in this program, you will get points. These points are grouped by achievements, and those achievements include completing a lesson, completing a course, running a pipeline, running a specific code block, maybe completing a session, and things like that. And then you will see your program, if you already registered for the program, appear right here. So you will be able to see the programs that you're a part of by going to this tab. And you can see here I have a list of them. So let's take a look at how does this actually work. So if we go to the main site, you can go to programs. And this is the program that we are discussing today, Machine Learning for Biomedical Drug Discovery. And here you have the information about the program itself with a little overview of the program, all of the sessions. And then you will also see some of the elements of the program. How they will fit together is the subject of today's session. So we will provide you with training, which is a combination of online sessions, self-study guides that you will find on this portal, including some practical exercises that you'll be able to do as you go through to build up your technical skills. After you complete the coursework, you will get certificates. So all of our coursework is certified and reviewed by multiple institutions and partners. And so you will get a certificate that you can share. You will have access to mentorship. So the people that you see today in this program are some of the mentors that will be available during the program. Depending on the level of your access that you've purchased with the access to the license, you will have an option to schedule a meeting with a mentor. We'll also go over some of the cloud tools today. So we'll show you how to utilize our big data analysis platform, and we'll also show you how to utilize some of the coursework that includes practical skills that you can develop right in the browser. Importantly, this is more than just a training program. Essentially, we view it as a first step to collaborate. So those of you that are joining today and starting with the program, that's why we want you to complete your profile. Your profile is going to be an important place where others can learn about you and connect with you. And hopefully you leave this program not just knowing how to do several things, but also getting connected with people that you can form long-term collaborations with. So the best way to do that is actually to join our LinkedIn group or a group on social media like Facebook. How many of you are on LinkedIn? I'm on LinkedIn too much, but those of you that are on LinkedIn like myself, you will be able to connect with me, obviously, but also with all of us here. And the way to do that is to join our OmicsLogic group. So I'll paste the link right here. Okay, why is it important to join a social media group of people that are associated with OmicsLogic? The reason is because, first of all, you will find that there are over 1,000 members here that are experts in a variety of different domains, including people that work for biotechnology companies, pharmaceutical companies, faculty at different universities around the world, including the US, Europe, India, and other places. You will find here people that have completed our training in the past, and you will see how they develop over time. We have our research fellows that post here their research projects, so you'll be able to see what they have been able to do and achieve. And obviously, all of us are here as well. So if you hated the program, you can tag us. If you love the program, you can tag us as well. So that's something that we encourage all of you to do in this program as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, all of the coursework come with a certificate of completion. So let me briefly describe what the certificate of completion is and how to achieve that stage. So a program consists of several different elements. These are going to be online sessions that we will review in just a few minutes. It includes some coursework that you have to complete, and it is certified as well. And it also includes some of the point-based system that we have on our portal. So the point-based system allows us and you to track your progress as you go through the different stages and assignments that are presented to you in this program. So we expect everyone to get to a minimum of 10,000 points, and that gets you to a level of expertise that we all know that you have completed some of the basic training on the portal. Once you reach a level of 10,000 points, you are also eligible to work on an independent project. So all of you hopefully will get to that point. And if you're interested in developing a showcase for what you have learned and maybe how that aligns with your research interests, you are welcome to submit a research project proposal. To submit a research project proposal, you will get a form, a personal invitation to submit a project proposal. And once you submit it, we will try to assist you as much as possible in completing that research project in the duration of this program. If you want to continue and work on that research proposal even after the program is over, you're welcome to do that. You have an option to join our research fellowship program. Importantly, that research fellowship over the summer will come with a research symposium in August, where you will have access to experts and judges from top universities in the US that will be able to comment on your project presentation. And so if you're interested in that, please do reach out to our team. So Nalika here, Dr. Mohit Mazumdar, myself, you can reach us out by email. So Nalika, if you could please list out the emails here so everyone would be able to join. Okay, so before I go on, are there any questions about this? How many of you have already joined the LinkedIn group? All right, perfect. Thank you, Priya. Has anyone else joined the? All right, great. Thank you, Nish. All right, I see a few of you. Could I repeat the part about points? Yes. So again, the portal is free. Anyone can join the portal, and you have access to some free courses that you can go through and kind of understand how they're structured. For those of you that are part of the program, we will track your points. Every time you complete an achievement, let me briefly show how that works. Okay, so here you can go to this link, just type in achievements. You will see everybody and their activity on the portal. Okay, you can see that every time somebody completes some step, like a lesson or a course, you will get some points. Sometimes it's 50, sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 500, 100, etc. And that's how you get to the 10,000 point mark. What are the courses that you consider most important to complete? Okay, so this program is about data science. So what I would recommend is go to this tab, courses, and start looking for introduction. You will see here the following courses: Introduction to Bioinformatics, Introduction to Data Science in Python, and Introduction to Data Science in R. If you're just getting started, you can start with getting started with bioinformatics in Python and getting started with bioinformatics in R. So these are some of the courses that I recommend. There's also a course for those of you that need to refresh your molecular biology terminology and kind of how does this all fit in. I recommend going through our course called Bytes and Molecules. Is it possible to take up the fellowship program after gaining 10,000 points? Yes. You can join the research fellowship. Is a program that you can learn about right here. Go to research, and that program is designed specifically for those of you that would like to spend the next 3 to 6 months working on independent research projects. But those are, again, not relevant to this program today. So let's go back to the program at hand, which is called OmicsLogic Data Science. Okay, and I will pass this on very soon to my collaborator, Dr. Sujit, who will speak about data science. But I first want to make sure that we go through this introduction. So our typical program on data science includes the understanding of the various omics data types, formats, and associated challenges, exploratory data analysis, and processing that data to prepare it for analysis, application of supervised and unsupervised machine learning methods to exploration of biomedical data. In this particular program, we're going to expand the number of topics, and we're going to also talk about things like deep learning, neural networks. We're going to talk about natural language processing, and some other important tools that are relevant to biomedical research, but also relevant to some of the other data types. However, what we will try to do is give you a complete roadmap for data science. So this is a month-long program. In this program, you will find data sets. We will share with you some curated data sets that you can practice with. You can explore and visualize, making sure that your visualization is impactful and accurate. You will understand research methods as you read through publications and you come across different figures. You'll understand what they represent. And hopefully that will give you insight and understanding of how to apply data science skills and methods to a variety of biomedical research topics. So that's why we call this OmicsLogic. So OmicsLogic, the purpose of this program is really to connect the dots and provide you with a variety of different access points so that you can continue and learn all of these important topics. Now, briefly speaking about the sessions that are coming up, today we're talking about introduction to data science. We will then talk about machine learning algorithms, the application of data science to a variety of domains, including biomedical research on June 18th. Introduction to machine learning for next generation sequencing data, including transcriptomics, genomics, and metagenomics. Then we'll talk about unsupervised machine learning, clustering, and data mining. Supervised machine learning, classification, and finding different signatures in big data. And then we will transition to a second part of the program, which will be focused on an independent project. So that is to develop a proposal on how you could apply machine learning tools to a variety of important topics in biomedicine or associated topics. We'll then do some practical hands-on sessions, which will include dimensionality reduction in R and Python, clustering in R and Python, classification in R and Python, evaluating your model accuracy, and how to then take your model to production, and then how to work on an independent research project. Okay, so this is today's session. So we have started today's session, but we will transition into the topic, the introduction to data science, in just a few more minutes. And before we get started, I wanted to give you an overview of how this will work. Okay, so the important separation here is that we have two separate parts. And so in the beginning, we will kind of get oriented and introduced to the important topics, and then we will go into machine learning and AI and some practical hands-on tools. And I want to briefly tell you about how different types of machine learning have been playing a big impact on biomedical discovery. As you know, the omics data types continuously expand and evolve. And so it's important that in many of these types of data, there's many, many thousands of features. And because of that, it is complicated to apply traditional statistical methods to get accurate signal from this highly variable and heterogeneous data. And so machine learning is very well applied to the challenges associated to big omics data. And that's why you can see in literature and in a variety of different outlets how machine learning has been taking over this area of biomedical discovery, drug discovery, and the application of to research, to basic research challenges. And especially this can be seen just by looking at the pace of data coming out from different biomedical projects. So this comes as a challenge, but also as an opportunity. So on one hand, the challenge is that the data is growing in complexity and growing in velocity, growing in volume. On the other hand, it's an opportunity because many of these data sets are generated by extremely qualified and skilled technicians, laboratory technicians, as well as biologists that ask the right questions and can generate very accurate data about very specific types of phenomena. So when we think about it, it's an opportunity if we just have the tools to be able to work with this kind of data. Especially this can be seen with this new pandemic. So as opposed to previous pandemics and previous chronic diseases or even some important developments around the world, epidemics that have sprung out in different places, this pandemic has been characterized, one, by huge volumes of data that have been produced. Number two, real-time sharing of such data. So it's not like the pandemic is over and we're just getting access to the data. Every single day, there have been thousands of new data points deposited in public repositories that anyone can access. And number three, this data has been increasingly diverse. That includes genomic data about the viruses themselves, population health data about who and how people gets infected and how do they get sick, including transcriptomic data about the response to the different types of infections, including many other different types of data. And so now that we have this almost real-time access to such biomedical data, the question is, what can we actually do with this data and how can we utilize this data to gain insights into what's going on? And to understand how we can gain insights into this, we need to understand what are some of these technologies that are generating omics data to describe and characterize the molecular drivers of these diseases. And this includes many different types of omics data, including phenomics, genomics, epigenomics, transcriptomics, metagenomics, and many others. Now, what's unique about this kind of data is that this data has to be processed. So this data has to be prepared before it could be analyzed. And that includes specific processing steps that are related to the way that this data is generated. And so what we'll do in this program is also introduce you to some of the tools that you need to have to be able to construct logical workflows from raw data to structured data. And as a result, as you learn about the logic behind some of these pipelines, you'll be able to prepare the data for analysis and make sure that it answers the specific question that you have in mind about this type of data. Now, ultimately, the challenge is not just processing and preparing the data for analysis, but it's in the integration of multiple different data types that are describing the same problem. And that includes ability to perform statistical analysis, data mining, structural analysis, single cell deconvolution, map these complex relationships, and ultimately extract some meaningful insights. So in this program, we'll talk about all parts of this process, from how the data was prepared to generate the data set that we're looking at, to then data processing, or how to clean and organize the data and prepare it for analysis. Then we'll talk about exploratory data analysis, how we can visualize and mine data for patterns to eliminate noise and focus on the signal. And then how to structure your analysis with a specific strategy to understand how different statistical models or different types of methods and algorithms apply to a particular problem. And then how we can get some meaningful insights or inference. What can we extract from this type of analysis that is relevant to the problem at hand? So there's many different types of unstructured data, but the important part is that there's much more unstructured data than structured data. And the problem with unstructured data is that you can't really analyze it. And so many data scientists, unfortunately, are excited about how we can apply different latest techniques and models to train on this data. But if you don't have access to structured data, essentially that's impossible. So we will spend some considerable time talking about structuring data. When you structure data, data could be organized into many different objects. And so we will also review how different data objects and different types of structures could be useful for a variety of information points that are in our input data. And so we'll talk about vectors, data frames, matrices, arrays, and others. We'll talk about data normalization and exploration to understand what are some of the prominent features of the data and how we can transform it into the data types and data structures that are most useful for different types of analysis. And we will talk about some statistical properties of data that allow us to think about experiment design. Finally, we will focus on some biologically meaningful data analysis and exploration so that we can understand the different types of visualization techniques and what they mean, and go on to data mining and classification. And that includes different types of classification techniques and different types of data mining approaches that, again, are best used in a variety of scenarios that we will describe using project examples. Now, many of you are probably coming to this program already knowing some coding and knowing how to organize your infrastructure on your own computer, but some of you might not be. And so what we wanted to do is to make sure that this program is accessible to those that have a coding background and those that do not. So if you don't have any coding background, that's absolutely okay. We will go through all of the basics. How is code organized? And then you will have an ability to practice some of these things right in your browser before you take it out of the browser and onto your computer. So how many of you already have RStudio installed on your computer? Okay, Priya, Marcelina, okay, great, excellent. How many of you have Python installed on your computer? Okay, great. So what are some of your favorite environments where you use Python? So somebody mentioned PyCharm. Anyone else? Colab, okay. Jupyter, Google Colab, VS Code. All right, excellent. Visual Studio Code, VS Code, yep. All right, excellent. So those of you that, is there anyone here that does not have RStudio installed yet? Okay, so for those of you that do not have, let me show you. For those of you that do not have RStudio or Python installed, you can go to Introduction to, for example, here. You have here directions on how to do it, RStudio, and in the one on Python, you have instructions on how to get started with Python. So what's important is that you need to install several things on your computer. You need to get to know the environment, and you need to understand the logic behind different packages and different ways of running your code. So this is an important way to get started. For those of you that have already gotten that experience, that are ready, you can go on into the more advanced topics there as well. Okay, so we talked about coding. All right, now the sessions that we will have, like today's session, are going to be interactive sessions that are going to be supplemented by some of these online materials. So it's important to come to the session when you are ready. And so when you're ready, you probably have to complete some course or some lesson or some practical assignment. And then that is the way that you can leverage these interactive sessions in the best way possible. So the interactive sessions are to review, they are to ask questions, they are to get help, to get you unstuck. But to be a full part of the program, you have to be an active participant. So for those of you that have already joined the program, we have a Slack channel that you will get invited to after you complete your registration. And so how many of you have already joined the Slack channel for this data science program? All right, great. All right, so some of you have. If you have not, but you have already joined the program, then you need to ask us, you need to reach out to Sonalika, marketing at Pine Bio. She's our community manager, and she will help you get set up so that you can ask questions, you can post your progress, or you can address any specific challenges that you see, maybe something wasn't covered and things like that. Now, all of the sessions are going to be recorded. So after the session is recorded, it's uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you will get a recording right there on the program page, as well as on the Slack channel. All right, so we already signed up. Let me briefly show you our big data analysis platform so that all of you are also signed up there. Please go with me to server.tbio.info and let me know if you are there. You can use the exact same login and password that you got when you registered for the program. Okay, so anyone, in fact, that has registered on the Learn portal will have an account. For those of you that are not not a part of the program yet, you can still do a demo. So let me briefly demonstrate what this platform does. Okay, please let me know once you're on this link. Maybe put something in the chat so I know you're there. All right, thank you. All right, anyone else? I'll give it a couple more minutes. Priya, thank you. All right, so once you are logged in, and I can see that I'm logged in just by hovering over this profile icon, let's go and we'll try two things. So as you can see, this platform is organized into the following sections. This is for big data processing. And here you have some things that you can try without any coding. So I will show you two things. The first one is an example of a processing pipeline. So I'll go into this demo. There's no need to upload anything, but it helps you understand the logic behind the analysis. So you can see here the different steps. You can then perform pre-processing or cleaning up the raw data and filtering it for all kinds of technical variation. Then we perform mapping. And so you learn about the reads and the exons and how they are spliced together to form transcripts. Then you can find how the transcripts are added on into the annotation file or the GTF file. And then finally, how do we quantify the abundance of gene expression? So one of the data types we will deal with is gene expression, and that is transcriptomic data. So here you will find some of the outputs that you will need to work with transcriptomic data from a curated project that you can learn about on our portal. Okay, so this was example number one. Example number two, once you have that data already, you can perform what's called principal component analysis. And inside of this pipeline, you will also get code for our studio. So if you want to modify the code and you want to run it on your computer, you can do it from right here. So again, this platform combines big data processing directly from NCBI or from your own computer with downstream analysis techniques. Many of them are implemented in R, and you will be able to download the R script from right here. Okay, so any other questions before we move on? Okay, if there are no other questions, I want to introduce our speaker for today, Dr. Sujit. He is the founder of PharmaToppers and the co-founder of Optam PVT Ltd. He has a PhD in chemoinformatics and drug design, as well as AI in drug discovery. Durba, we will address all the other questions at the end of the session, so please hold on to your questions. And Sujit, I will pass it on to you.
Thank you, Ilya. I welcome again all of you guys, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are part of the globe. So let me share my screen. Sonalika, could you please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Thank you. So guys, as a part of entire 1 month program, this is an introduction to data science, of how we can use it for a life science. In this program, I would be talking more on a data science perspective, and that was something about some mathematical part of a data science and machine learning, what exactly is happening. But definitely, I'll correlate most of the terminologies, most of the things to the life science or a pharma data. So, considering that we have participants from various background, maybe from life science, maybe from genomics, maybe from pharma, and maybe from a computer science. So, guys, have you ever wondered how Amazon, eBay suggest items for you to buy? You used to get some notifications, right? Do you know Gmail filters your email before it comes to you as a spam or a not non-spam categories? Hope you might be knowing, many of time you might have seen that, okay, my email has gone into spam folder. Maybe Google can tag that particular email as a spam. If you are watching Netflix, if you are a regular customer of Netflix, so do you know Netflix predicts how what are the shows you like? I mean, let's say if you are watching any video or any movie in a Netflix, and Netflix also gives some suggestion based on your activity, previous activity into the platform. But do you know all these things are actually a part of AI, or actually a part of machine learning, deep learning, or broadly we can say a data science? So apart from this, these examples are actually considered to a very general public to just getting into this particular program. But if I have to specifically talk about life science or pharmacy graduate or uh, any other bioinformatics graduate, so guys, if you have no, we can predict the toxicity of a drug molecule using data science, using machine learning, using deep learning. If you are a life science graduate, you know you can draw a molecular structure in a various molecular editor tools. Once you draw a structure, you can save the structure into a image, a 2D image of the molecule in a PNG format. Also, along with the image, you can predict the toxicity of a molecule. There has been several people have published about how we can predict the toxicity of molecule just from an image. So this is because of the computer vision technology, which is also a part of data science. So guys, you can do many things using data science or using machine learning, deep learning. uh, if you have heard about, there are several other companies out there in the market like Benevolent AI, Extensia, and several other startup company. Now they are becoming a giant pharma companies. They have already partnered with several companies like AstraZeneca, Pfizer, very big companies, Novartis, etc. And as you know, the entire drug discovery process, it actually takes around 15 to 20 years and around $4 billion of cost to have entire drug discovery process. But the entire discovery process has been reduced down to only 1 year just because of the AI, just because of the AI in drug discovery. So if you are a life science graduate, if you are a pharma graduate, if you are a PhD, or if you are a researcher, we would request all of you to apply data science, machine learning, or artificial intelligence technologies in your day-to-day research activities, or it is highly recommended course for each one of you. So how you can define a data science or a data scientist? You know, the one who knows data science, the one who works in the field of data science is actually called as a data scientist in an industry. So at the bottom, if you can see, a person who is better at statistics than any software engineer and better at software engineering than any statistician is actually called as a data scientist. And you could have heard about jobs. Data scientist jobs are the most loved jobs, and you could find many vacancies out there in the market for a data science. And in this course, we have another course starting from tomorrow, wherein we are giving practical sessions on a chemoinformatics and a drug discovery. If you could join both of this course, you will have complete idea understanding of how we can apply data science in or machine learning or a deep learning in your drug discovery process or in your biological or a chemical data. So moving forward, data science is a practice of mining large data set of raw data, both structured and unstructured. So here structured, you can say a label data. A label data, you can say the, for, let's say if you have a particular sentence, let's say for a particular molecule, you know that benzene's kind of structure is actually a benzene molecule, and let's say if particular molecule is actually a paracetamol molecule. If you know any data point which belongs to any particular tax, that is called a structured data. But let's say you have a bunch of molecules, but you don't know the name of those molecules, or if you don't know smiles of those molecules, you just have those images of those molecules, then actually that is called as a unstructured data. So data science is a practice of mining large data to identify patterns and extract actionable insights from them. So actually this is an interdisciplinary field. It includes statistics. If you are to be called as a data scientist, you need to know some of the statistics. You should have some understanding of a computer science. You should have some predictive analytics capability. You should know machine learning, deep learning, a little bit of machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, or natural language processing, and you should be capable enough to find out some of the inferences from your data. And existence of this data science technologies like machine learning and a data thirsty algorithms like deep learning came just because of the big data. So if you could see, if you are a human being, you are actually generating a data, and then with a data scientist, he actually does some analysis of a data, and then data scientists give an inference or a prediction based on that data by applying some algorithms techniques. So let us talk about data and their languages. What actually important for a data science as a data scientist. Why we are learning data science is just because why this particular field came into existence, why this machine learning, deep learning, everyone is using this algorithm, just because data is growing exponentially. And yes, for machine learning, deep learning, or any other data science algorithm, the data is actually a fuel for those algorithm. And you know, data is not only fuel for the algorithm, but yes, also for the entire world. So and as you might be knowing, internet users are generating more than 2 quintillion bytes of a data every day. So about 90% of this huge amount of data gets generated in the most recent 2 years, according to the sources like IBM and Snitfig. So, and you can even in the coming days, coming years, you could see even more number of zettabyte of data may generate in every hour or every day. So being a data scientist, what exactly you should know? What are those libraries? I would more focus on a Python, but yes, being a data scientist, if you know R, you can work, you can use many of those algorithms, and you can do lots of data analysis process using R. I am a Python expert. I like Python because you could find more of a libraries related to data science in a Python framework. So out of the several data science libraries, Pandas is the #1 library, which is actually most important data scientists should learn about. NumPy, SciPy. NumPy is for the mathematical calculations. SciPy is also for some calculations. Scrappy, if you wanna scrap some data. Matplotlib, if you wanna plot some data, statistics, analysis. If you wanna do, you can use Sebum as well. Scikit-learn contains several machine learning algorithms wherein you just have to call the package, and you good to go to develop your own model. And again, Scikit-image, TensorFlow, and Librosa can be used also. These are the very useful packages for any data scientist, beginner or expertise. So okay, as we are talking about data science, so let me directly jump into data science life cycle. What exactly the steps involve being a part of data science day-to-day activities, data scientist day-to-day activities. So, and then after this data science life cycle, we will look it into all other machine learning, deep learning, all other algorithms, and there some mathematics behind those algorithms as well. along with some life science, specific to life science problems, or specific to as a life science examples. So what could be the first step being a data scientist? What you would do very as a first step, or how data science workflow works on? So defining a problem statement. To work with any data science problem, or any to bring data science approach to any of the problem, you should have a perfect, well-defined problem statement. If you don't have, you can work on to define perfect problem statement. Then the most important step is data collection. Having a very good amount of data and having a good quality of data is actually a base strong uh, strong base for any data modeling process or data science life cycle. You need to collect good quality of data. You need to have uh, amount of the quantity could be anything. I mean, where there are several algorithms which can work on a less amount of data, but yes, you should have always a good quality of a data. We should always focus on a quality rather than more on a quantity. So data collection is actually a systematic approach to gather relevant information from a variety of sources, and this data collection which you can actually use using data mining algorithms, I mean some data mining techniques, and also you can do web scraping for data collection. And also there are several open source repositories out there in the market wherein you can download the data and you can start practicing and developing your very first model, we can say hello world model, machine learning hello world machine learning model. So to download the data, we have several websites like GitHub. You can go and log in into GitHub. We have Kaggle, it's a competition platform wherein you can find a large amount of data for different purpose. And we have a data hub. Once, as I mentioned, once you have a proper data, once you collect data from various sources, then the next important step is data quality check and remediation. It's always important to have quality of data, as I mentioned. There is a simple terminology in a data science field, like whatever you feed into machine, whatever you feed into algorithm, maybe machine learning or deep learning algorithm, you will get out from that the same. If you feed the garbage, you will get garbage out of it. If you feed good quality of data, you will get good prediction out of it. So data analysis and data cleaning processing is actually a very important step in a data science life cycle, being a part of data science life cycle. So let's say once you have cross-check your data, once you define yes, your data quality is too good, then the another important step is data analysis. So at the end of the life cycle, I'll tell you what are those out of this all those steps. What is actually the important step in the entire data science life cycle? So data analysis is like you have to find out what kind of data you have. You can plot your data points into different using different pie chart, bar diagram, or any other plotting tools like Matplotlib and Seaborn. And you need to explore your data before feeding into machine learning. You also need to find out, okay, I have combination of genes, combination of protein sequences, do I have smile structures along with the descriptors or a fingerprint? You need to check your data completely. I mean, you need to analyze your data completely. So once you analyze, you can segregate your data. Let's say if you just wanted to work on a gene part, you can put only gene related data, or you can put descriptors or a fingerprint to the machine learning model. So the very next step is once you have cross-check your data, once you have a good quality of data, and once you know my data is ready to go to machine learning modeling process. So the next step is a data modeling. Modeling means actually the formulating every step and gather techniques required to achieve the solution. So here it comes actually various algorithms, exact algorithms like machine learning algorithms like random forest, support vector machine, and deep learning algorithms. And also you can say uh, other subpart of deep learning like RNN, CNN, and other things. So what are the common tools which public you currently are using, and which is currently available in the market as a free of cost? Maybe some are paid. One is a MATLAB, which is paid one, but we have a Veka, we have SAS Enterprise Miner, we have Alpine Miner, we have Statistica, and SPCS Modeler. These are some of the freely available tool which you can find out in a market. You just need to import a data into this software, and you just have to select a algorithm which through which algorithm you have to build your model, and you'll this tools will give you all the predictions. And but let's say a tool has given you the prediction, so it could be, you know, the accuracy, all the validation parameters could be accuracy, sensitivity, specificity, and all other stuff. But yes, you should able to communicate your result as well. I mean, let's say if you have some kind of classification problem, so you should develop your classification model, and while showing it to user or while communicating your results to the other third party, you should always have accuracy or MCC score or all other classification scores. If you have regression problem, definitely guys, this terminology might be new to you, classification, regression, but in coming slides we will look at into all those terminology in a deep. So let's say if you have a regression problem, then how you are communicating your results, whether it's a R square value or RMSE or whatever, you have to express, or you have to communicate your results, proper results, to the stakeholders or a third party person. So, and most often you need to present your findings to a non-technical audience, such as marketing team or a business executive. So you need to communicate the results in a simple to understand in a simple and understanding manner. So by collecting all these steps, so, you know, first is a data discovery. You can say data gathering, data preparation, model planning, model building, operationalization, and communicate results. So, you know, guys, the first step, second step are actually the most important. This is my personal experience. If you ask me, I have been into this field more than around 10 years into, and I have several years of experience in industry and academia as well in the same field. And I was applying, even I am applying data science, machine learning fields in a biomedical data, or in a life science data, or in a pharma data. So being a data scientist, I would more focus on a data part, because as I mentioned, whatever you feed into machine learning, you will get out of it. If you feed garbage, you will get garbage out of it. If you feed good quality of data, you'll get better prediction out of it. So that's why I more focus on a data part, and data cleaning part, data pre-processing part, and data analytics and exploratory parts. Then you know, data scientists, they plan which, based on the data, which algorithm should I go, which algorithm should I use, whether my machine learning suffice my need, or I should jump into deep learning, or this is a problem of natural language processing. This all a part of a model planning. Then you will do model building using those algorithms, and then you will communicate those results. So guys, as of now, please let me know if you have any questions on this. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself, and you can ask me questions. So I ask, how is the drug structure drawn? So there are several online open source software tools available. Maybe after this session, we can put all those links to this chat box. So considering that we don't have any questions as of now. Okay. Okay. So guys, let us speak something about why these are so data scientists, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision. Let us differentiate all other terminologies one by one in the coming slides. So actually AI, data science, and machine learning all work in a tandem. Machine learning is a field of actually data science that feeds computers huge amount of data, so they can learn to make insightful decisions similar to the way that humans do. For example, let's say let us take some random example from your day-to-day life, and then again we'll move into your life science data. So most humans learns as a children what a flower is without thinking about it. However, the human brain achieves that learning through experience by collecting data on which specific feature are associated with the flower. Let's say if you are seeing the rose as a flower every day, based on those features, red color, that shape, size, height, everything, based on that you will identify this particular flower could be an rose. Similar way, we have to feed few features to machine. Let's say if we are building a model for a for a flower, so we have to feed those features to machine, saying that okay, this particular flower has a red color, this have some height, this is the shape for a flower, this is a dimension, this flowers actually comes in this particular time frame, this could be a part of big tree, small tree. These all the actually parameters or features for those flower. Once we feed it into those features, machine will understand okay, this features belongs to the rose, and then finally machine will predict okay, this if particular features come in the future, then machine will understand okay, yes, this is actually a flower. Let me give you one another example which is actually booming currently in news channel everywhere, like autonomous self-driving cars, right? So how these cars are actually working on. So let's say uh, driverless cars, right? So if somebody is I mean nobody is driving the car in a driverless car, but if some any object comes in front of the car, let's say cat or a dog, car gets stops over there, the brake automatically the system in a car they'll put the brake down, right? Why? So this is called a computer vision problem. So let me tell you, this camera in a car, they will capture the image. Okay, let's say if cat come in front of the car, the camera will capture okay, this is car cat photo. Okay, then machine learning, it will derive all the features from that image, and from that features already they have trained all the features of the cat using machine learning or a deep learning algorithm. And based on those features, machine learning will or deep learning will predict okay, these are actually features for a cat, and then we have to stop just because cat has come in front of the car, and we have to stop our car that right away because it has come in front of our car. So this is how deep learning, machine learning or data science field works. So a machine can do same thing with a human. As human feeds the machine massive quantities of data, it can learn that various petals, stem and other features all connected to a flower. At the same example, if I have to take an example in our let's say chemistry point of view, if you are aware with the chemoinformatics, if you are aware with the chemical data, so let's say if you have a paracetamol molecule, you have a 2D structure or a 3D structure of a paracetamol molecule, then the next step is what exactly you have to do. You have to calculate the features of paracetamol. The features could be paracetamol have an OH group, paracetamol have carboxylic group, it has a benzene ring. So you have all those features of those paracetamol. So then you have to feed in those features into algorithm. Could be a machine learning, random forest, support vector machine, k means nearest neighbor, any algorithm. And then machine will predict, okay, if such features are there, so these features are actually belongs to paracetamol. If in the future, if any such kind of features come into this model, the model will predict, okay, this features are actually belongs to paracetamol, and then it will predict, yes, this molecule is a paracetamol molecule. So this is how this machine learning, data science or deep learning actually works. So these are just a superficial example. I'll go in a very deep to explain you how exactly it works, what mathematics is behind all those algorithms. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Yeah. So as I mentioned, there are several terminologies out there, right? So data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, and computer vision. These are all terminologies you can say a part of a data science. Okay. Now you might have heard all these terminologies. Now let's understand what exactly these are and why we are learning about it, right? So you can say data science is a kind of a big bubble. Similar to that, big data is actually also a big bubble. So artificial intelligence is another bubble in a data science, or is actually a part of a data science. And then machine learning comes into completely comes into a artificial intelligence. And then neural networks, you might have heard about multi-layer perceptron. These are a part of a neural network. So this neural networks comes into a machine learning domain. And then we have a deep neural network. So if we have a single layer, it is called a simple neural network. If we have a multiple layers, more than 2, so it is called a deep neural network or a deep learning. It is also comes as a part of a neural network. So hierarchy is like data science is a very big bubble. In that we have artificial intelligence, into that we have a machine learning, into that we have neural networks, and finally a small bubble which comprises all is deep neural networks or a deep learning. So now hope you understand how these terminologies are actually linking, and why we are calling all these terminologies every time. Okay, so with this, let us move on each and every categories, I would say, or algorithms, broader categories of algorithms one by one. So let us talk about machine learning. So, guys, before moving forward, let me again explain you. Let's say there is a small baby, there is a small child. We teach him every time. Okay, this is a spoon. This is how you have to talk. This is how you have to call. This is how this is how you have to get out of your bed. This is how you have to walk. So we feed in each and every information to the child, right? So likewise, this algorithms, or you can say this machine, we have to feed each and every information to the machine. And like another example, you might have seen the robot movie from the Rajnikant, if you're a part of India. And let's say how the brain of that robot works. This is everything is artificial intelligence. It contains, as you have seen, it is maybe a combination of machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, all those algorithms. So this robot brain is actually artificial intelligence. So while creating a robot, or while developing a robot brain, they feed each and every information to the robot. This is how you have to walk. This is how you have to jump. This is how you have to get in from your bed. This is how you have to take a spoon. All these things they'll teach to robot. So this is a machine wherein you have to teach this machine as a child. Okay, so let us go a small definition of a machine learning. So machine learning algorithms enables the computer to learn from a data and even improves themselves without being explicitly programmed. So so what exactly this definition meaning is, initially you have to feed data to the machine, and then based on your data, machine can understand, okay, this is how I have to act, this is how I have to react. But in the further events, eventually machine keeps on learning themselves. Let's say in further, if you keep on feeding the data, and whatever machine is predicting based on his experiences, machine keeps on learning whatever he has predicted, whether this prediction is correct or not. If it is correct, it will understand. If it is not, next time it will avoid to do that particular wrong prediction. So this is how machine learning works, and without being explicitly programmed means you don't have to tell each and every time. So actually we have to make our algorithm or our pipeline so that our algorithm should learn itself in a subsequent events of our process. So machine learning is a category of algorithm that allows software application to become more accurate in predicting outcomes without being explicitly programmed. So like Google, if you are typing something, let's say if you are searching for a shoes in a Google, very next day or maybe in next 2 or 3 days, you will get several ads from a shoes companies to your, maybe to your Gmail, maybe to, or maybe in your any of the social media sites. Maybe if you are browsing through Facebook, these ads will come up automatically, because they'll understand, okay, Google will, I mean, this algorithms at the back end, they have algorithm. So they'll understand, okay, you are searching for a shoes, and they immediately they'll keep on showing those shoes ads to your browsing panel, wherever it is, whether it is a browser, whether it is a social media, might be Facebook or anywhere. So the basic premise of machine learning is to build algorithm that can receive input data and use statistical analysis to predict an output while updating output as a new data becomes available. So again, while building a model, there are several steps which I'll let you know. I mean, we have to divide our data into training set, test set, validation set, and we can build a model using training set, and we can use test data to find out how my model performs very well for unknown data, and again on a validation set data. So let me walk you each and every step in a coming slide. So as I said, machine learning is used everywhere, from automating tasks to offering intelligent insights. Industries in every sector try to benefit from it. You can apply machine learning algorithms in business, in your life science data, in finance, in IT sector. If you have to manage your computer processing, or if you have to find when your computer, that is called ML ops, if you have to find when your computer is going to get shut down in how many hours, you can even predict using machine learning. If you have to find out at what time period your computer hard disk is gonna get full, you can find this information, or you can predict this using machine learning. And other examples are like, drugs classification. You can classify all your drugs. Let's say if you are a chemist, you can classify your drugs on a, let's say, benzopyrrole category, or indole containing ring category, or many other chemical class categories. You can predict the toxicity of molecules, and you can generate even new molecules using machine learning. There are several companies like AstraZeneca, Pfizer. They have generated new molecules without being synthesized in a lab. They have generated new molecules using GAN, generative networks. There are even several algorithms out there, out there. So where by which you can generate a new molecule. And you might have heard natural language processing. You can generate a new sentence. If you are talking something, machine can generate new sentence after your sentence. So these are all, everything can be possible using all this data science or machine learning technologies. And the very best example is like, you might be wearing this Fitbit bands, and you might be using Google Home or Siri or Alexa in your day-to-day activity. These are all possible just because of this AI world, or data science world, or the machine learning, deep learning algorithms. So I hope you don't have any questions so far. Yes, so we have one question: is same machine learning work in computer chess game? Yes, in a computer chess game also we have AI system. Yes, exactly. So guys, if you feel shy to ask questions publicly by unmuting your mic, you can please type your question in a chat box. Priya Uppal has said, please explain NLP. Please, sure, Priya. We'll have several slides over after this about NLP and other algorithms as well. So guys, let us dig down something into a history of artificial intelligence, or history of a data science, when it has started. So actually, these algorithms were available to the scientific community late in 1950s. But because of a lack of data, because of proper data, that time big data technologies was not there. So because of that, we were not having organized data in a public resource. So that's why this algorithm, although there were this algorithm, but nobody was using this algorithm. And another point is like computational power. Previously, if you have seen early 19th century computer, or early 1950s 1960s computer, they are actually very big computers. Now you have the entire computer, they may occupy entire room. Now those such big computers have came down into your laptop, or even you can maybe your small desktop or something. So that's why this algorithm was in a hidden state, we can say, even I can say. But yes, eventually this algorithm came into picture. Many people have start using these algorithms, and they start modifying their algorithm based on the data, and they were getting very proper output once the data is available to those algorithms. So I can say 1990s or 2000 could be a very good point to start with. I mean, people have started using machine learning algorithm everywhere. And eventually after 2010 or in between 2000 2002 2010 we could see evolution of a deep learning. Many researchers from Google and Facebook, they developed several algorithms. And they made it they made it free to public. You have all those deep learning algorithm and other computer vision and NLP algorithms. So just a minute. Yes, Luis. So yes, the goal of this entire course is, we will explain you each and everything. This is being a very first session, so we wanted each and everyone to bring on a single platform. So that's why we are explaining everything to correlate with your day-to-day life. But yes, from a next session, we will give each and every example related to pharmaceutical or a life science. Okay. So what are the so you understood what exactly machine learning is. So then let us learn something about what are the types of machine learning. So yes, there are different types of machine learning. One is supervised machine learning, second is the unsupervised machine learning, and third one is the reinforcement learning. So the very first is a supervised machine learning. So in the supervised machine learning, we have a classification and regression. So as I mentioned, let's say guys, let me directly jump into example and then I'll explain you what exactly it is. So let's say, again, talking on a biomedical perspective, let's say you have a set of molecules and you need to find out whether this particular molecule could pass a blood-brain barrier or not. Okay, so you will have a two set of molecules. One set of molecules would be those molecules which could pass blood-brain barrier, and another set of molecules which doesn't pass blood-brain barrier. Okay, and you have labeled all those molecules. Let's say molecule 1 crosses blood-brain barrier, molecule 2 yes crosses blood-brain barrier, molecule 3 doesn't cross blood-brain barrier, molecule 4 yes crosses, molecule 5 doesn't cross. So let's say you have such kind of molecules. Maybe you have 1,000 molecules, and out of 1,000, 5 could cross blood-brain barrier, and rest of the 500 could cross blood-brain barrier, and rest of the 500 may not cross blood-brain barrier. Okay, so this is called a label data, right? So you have all those molecules, and these molecules can cross or cannot cross blood-brain barrier. So this is called a label data. So using this label data, and as you have only two classes, you can say categories, right? You have whether it is cross, it will not cross. This is a kind of a true or false example, right? So you can say such kind of examples as a classification example. Okay, again, let me give you some real time, I mean real life example, or a day-to-day example. Let's say if you want to predict the how price of a house. Price of a house could be $1 million, few $1,000, or could be 3.5 million dollars, right? So so this price of a house could be a what I can say, variable, right? This variable is a continuous variable. I mean, you have those values. This is not kind of a true or false. You are not for predicting the price of a house. You cannot do true whether it is true or false, but you have to predict some values out of it, right? So such if you want to predict some values, then you have to use some regression problem. Hope you understood what this classification and regression. Again, if you so classification algorithm can be used for image classification. As I mentioned, using a 2D molecular structure, you can predict whether this molecule is a toxic or a non-toxic. So it can be a image classification problem. So you can identify fraud detection. I mean, you can let's say you have two types of let's say if I'm working on a banking data, and you have all the transaction, a few of the transaction might be a normal transaction, and a few of the transaction could be a fraud transaction. You can take those transaction details and you can build machine learning model, and you can if the new transaction comes in, you can easily identify whether this transaction is a fraud transaction or a normal transaction by the customer or by the bank user. So for regression model, like you can the kind of examples are like advertising, popularity prediction, you can do weather forecasting, you can do market forecasting. There are several other algorithm for forecasting as well, like LSTM and RN algorithm. So there are several other use cases of classification and regression algorithm in your research activity, also in your day-to-day life. Okay, so unsupervised machine learning algorithm. This is also another part of a machine learning algorithm. So as I mentioned, if you have a label data, could be a house price, could be a toxic or a non-toxic, could be a fraud or a non-fraud transaction, whether you have to forecast your weather. I mean, these are all the label data. I mean, the data which you have, it is completely labeled. This data belongs to this particular category. So that category or that variable is actually called as a Y variable. Later on in coming sessions, I'll explain you how we define X variable, Y variable in the algorithm, in the machine learning algorithm. So if you have a label data, you can go for a supervised machine learning algorithms. And if you have unsupervised, let's say guys, you have a random data, maybe let's say if any of you have gone to several websites, and you just copy pasted random data into different files or in a single file. You have copy pasted several sentences. You might have gathered all the images from the Google images, maybe 1,000 images from the Google images, and you have gathered in a one place. But you don't know which image belongs to which data, or otherwise you don't have that time to label that data. If you have brought up, if let's say out of those 1,000 images, there may be 100 cat images or 5 elephant images, but you don't have time to classify those images, or you don't have time to label those images, or you have just random data. Could be any case, right? In that case, it means you don't have a label data. So it means in such cases, it is called a unsupervised machine learning algorithm. In such cases, we have to use unsupervised machine learning algorithm, and this is called a unsupervised problem or unsupervised classification problem. So how you tackle this such problems in a different way, right? So there could be two problems. One is a clustering, another is a dimensionality reduction. So so the way it should not be a part of actually unsupervised, but yes, here in the you will just gain some meaningful insights from the data using dimensionality reduction. Maybe you can calculate those features, and you can get only selected features for those data. But yes, the very important algorithm, the set of algorithms are clustering algorithms. So there are several k-means clustering. There are several algorithms which can help you out to make as this algorithm, the category clearly defines that it's a clustering. So let's say you have a random 1,000 images. Algorithm itself, based on your image features, based on your image data, based on your images, it will create several clusters. Either you have to define, okay, I need 10 clusters or I need 15 clusters, or if you don't define, machine this algorithm itself, they create a cluster. So let's say it may create a clusters of those animals. Maybe one cluster contains all those animal images, another cluster contains maybe city images, another cluster may contain electronic gadget images. All such kind of images it will cluster. So this is called a clustering algorithm. Okay, so what you can kind of real like example, customer segmentation. So let's say you have a website, and a lot of traffic is coming into your website, and you have to traffic in the sense where a lot of visitors are visiting your website, right? So you have to categorize those users into different categories, whether they belongs to a business people, whether they belongs to a industry employees, whether they belongs to a government employees. You can categorize those users into different categories using clustering algorithm. Okay, so I'll go through each and every question after this session. Maybe I can reserve 5 or 10 minutes for the question and answer. So another algorithm could be a reinforcement learning. So one of our fellow, he asked whether we can use this algorithm into a gaming, right? Yes. Reinforcement learning is actually used in various games, mostly in a chess and other games. So this algorithm is used for robot navigation, real-time decisions, learning tasks, skill acquisition. So how this algorithm can use for a robot navigation, right? So maybe it's better if I explain you with all those images in a coming slides. So let us go deep dive into those supervised, unsupervised machine learning algorithms. Sonalika, I have a question for you. Shall I continue for another 10 to 15 minutes, or should we stop this session here and we can open platform for a question and answer? Mohit or Sonalika, anyone can answer to my question? Okay, guys, let us quickly look at this supervised, all this description, whatever I have explained you. Let us quickly look at this algorithm, and then I'll answer all of your questions. So classification, as I mentioned, you can classify various diseases, disease or no disease, whether it is a which color, red, blue, maybe any kind of. This could be there should not be this should not be always only two types, whether it is a true or false, a red or black, or a disease or no disease. There could be a multiple categories as well. Uh, maybe protein. Okay, this drugs belongs to protein 1, protein 2, protein 3, or protein 4. Here we have 4 different categories, right? So that is called a multi-class classification or a multi-label classification. If any drug belongs to protein 1, or either protein 2 or protein 3 or protein 4, that is called multi-class classification. Or if one drug may belongs to protein 1 and protein 2, or maybe protein 1 and protein 4, or maybe protein 2 and protein 4, that is called multi-label classification. Okay, guys. And we have, as we discussed, regression problem is when the output variable is a real value. Could be a drug activity. If you have to find out the drug activity, biological activity of a molecule. If you have to find out the molecular weight of a molecule. If you have to find out uh, IC50 or K10, all other parameters. The algorithm which you will use for supervised and unsupervised algorithm are, linear regression, logistic regression, K nearest neighbors, decision tree, random forest, gradient boosting machines, XGBoost, support vector machines, and also neural networks. So for unsupervised learning, as I mentioned, let's say you have a random set of data at right side. You could see a computer will automatically clusters that data into different clusters, and output is dependent upon the algorithm, which algorithm you are going to use it. So in the unsupervised learning, clustering and association, as I discussed, the algorithm which you are going to use is k-means clustering, hierarchical clustering, and neural networks can also be used for a unsupervised machine learning. And in a maybe in a next section we will look it into reinforcement learning. This is a very interesting algorithm wherein you will get how exactly robot gets navigation through those algorithm, how we feed in data into those algorithms. And these are some tools, or you can say some open source platforms available for all the data scientists to work on such kind of problem. So I would like to walk you through some demo, but definitely next session I'm going to walk you through some code demo, how we can write those machine learning those code, how we can use those machine learning for our problem. We don't have to explicitly write a code, or we don't have to do all such mathematics. Being a biological student, being a chemistry background student, I don't have to write all this algorithm. There are several packages available out there. We just have to call the package. We just have small understanding of Python, and we just have to call those packages, and we are good to go. We just have to feed in data, and we have to call those packages, and machine will does everything, and it will give us the prediction. In the coming slides, we have several other, I'll explain you how deep learning works, what are the formulas for a deep learning, what exactly mathematics behind deep learning. No, I'll not go much deeper into the mathematics, but yes, I'll definitely correlate how you can, let's say if you are feeding your molecular structures into a network, let's say in this network. So how this calculation exactly happening, and how this particular thing it is producing, whether it is a particular molecule. Here I have taken an example of dog and cat, but yes, I'll explain you how you have, let's say if you have fed in gene expression data, if you have fed in molecular descriptor or a fingerprint, what exactly happening in this hidden layer, input layer and output layer, I'll explain you a little bit of math with a little bit of mathematics. And we have lot more stuff to cover in the coming lectures in the entire session of 1 month. So it could be a very interesting journey with you guys, me, and with my other fellow colleagues from our collaborators. And so this could be a very great starting point for you to jump into. If you are not completely new about data science, it could be a great starting point for you to jump into data science field. And if you want to change your field, maybe you are working, we have several people from an industry. If you really want to change your career, this could be a, I don't say this is a blockbuster course, but yes, this could be a starting point for you. Based on this course, you will learn many things, how what exactly you can do in your data science. We have seen several students or several people being a pharmaceutical graduate, being a biological, being a life science graduate, they have implemented this algorithm, they have used these technologies in their own data, in their pharma data, in their drug discovery data, in their life science gene expression data, and they developed several good models or good softwares out of it, and they got very well recognition in their industry or in their research work. So guys, I am hoping all of you for a next 1 month journey association with all of you, and definitely you and our team will enjoy this entire 1 month session on a data science, and you will learn many things about data science in the coming days. So now I'm open for questions.
Hello, sir. Sorry, sir, we were not there when you called us. We were in a meeting. And so we have a question on YouTube. I just wanted to ask that. So El Khari asks, I'm not a data scientist, but I'm looking forward to use machine learning, especially genomic and transcriptomic data analysis in my research. But he doesn't know how he can start. And he's asking which things could help him to initiate himself in the field and make progress as quick as possible. And that is, I think, the common question of a lot many people as well. So could you please tell how people who want to make a career in data science, how they can start?
Yes, thanks Sonalika. So guys, uh, as I already mentioned, being a life science graduate, even if you don't have any experience in a Python, any experience in data science, any experience in machine learning, that is also fine. This data science course, the entire 1 month course, is actually designed for you guys. If you don't have any understanding of a computer science or of a Python programming or anything, in this course we will help you out to learn Python, basics of a Python. We will help you out to for a various machine learning, how we can use those machine learning or a deep learning algorithms specifically in your life science data, maybe a genomics data, maybe a transcriptomics data. So this course is actually for you guys, and we will help you out. We will walk you through the entire process of a data science in a life science. So I would say this is one of the finest course in the world which actually applying data science in the life science. So we have Sonalika, we have another question. What is TensorFlow for? So TensorFlow is used for deep learning models. I mean, it's a framework wherein you can write deep learning code, and you can call various deep learning models as well using PyTorch and Keras from the TensorFlow.
Any more
We have
questions?
we have another question. Can I graduate from this course with the knowledge to work for data visualization? Yes, you will get lot of insights, lot of knowledge about data visualization into this course. We will help you out. Let's see, if you have given an input of a gene expression data or a transcriptomics data, we will help you how you can do data visualization, how we can generate data graphs, how you can analyze those biological data. We will help you out entire throughout this course.
So while you share more questions, let me just take you throughout the important resources. So first of all, those who have not registered yet and they are looking forward to register themselves, you stand the last chance today because we have already started with the session, and this session was a free session for everyone. That's why we didn't close the registrations yet, but we would be closing them really very soon. So to register yourself, you have to go to the OmicsLogic portal. And if you're signed up, great. If you're not, then please sign up and go to the program page. Now, once you go to the program page, you will have a list of all the programs which are ongoing and the upcoming ones. Here you will get machine learning for biomedical drug discovery, and also informatics for biomedical drug discovery is there as well. Now I'm mentioning about this because it's the next part of this program which we started, the biomedical drug data science and drug discovery program. And once you go to the machine learning for biomedical drug discovery program page, this program page would open up. To proceed your application, you have to request for more information and then register yourself for the program here. Fill out all the details, we'll get your registration and we'll reach back to you. You can also get all the session details here. Now everyone who has enrolled till today, they all have been added to this program page. Now when I say they have been added to this program page, it means that throughout this course you need to keep this program page with you. You can simply bookmark it, and whenever we'll have a session, you will see the Zoom link for the session just below this. And also, the moment we are done with the session, I would be uploading the session video, and you can just see the recorded session on the program page itself. And those who want to register themselves directly by paying, so they have to just come to the options of payment we have. So we have three levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Now these this segregation is basically based on the provisions which you would be having, and the provisions they are mentioned and move ahead with your payment. Sorry, my internet connection is unstable, and that's why there is an issue. So this way you would have to proceed with the payment, and those who have the promo code, they can just apply it here. And like what all topics would be covered in each session. This is the blog which we have. I'll be sharing this blog link with you as well. Here it is in the chat box now. So you can simply go to this blog and learn what all programs are, like what all sessions we have, and what all topics would be covered in each of the session, and what are the various other resources for the session. Everything is mentioned in the blog itself. And for today's recording, I would be sending out the recording to everyone, and it's also there because we went live on YouTube. So we have a question. Dilip is asking, Python alone is good enough for the drug discovery process, or R is mandatory?
Actually, Python is enough, but R is mostly used for a data visualization, but we have several packages as well in Python for a data visualization. So even if somebody knows Python, basic knowledge of somebody have basic knowledge of Python, that is actually enough for them.
I hope that answers your question, Dilip. So those who have enrolled, I have added them already to the Slack page. Now this is how Slack looks like. Many of you might be here who are new to Slack. So on your mail ID, you would have the invitation for the Slack. And you just need to accept the invitation and join the group. And Zahara, you are asking that how can you join the Slack platform? You need to be you need to enroll yourself. You need to be one of our participants, and then we'll send you out the link, because the groups which we have made on Slack, they're just for the participants, so that we can communicate with them all the session details, recordings, and everything. I would be sending out the session meeting details and also the recordings on Slack after each session. So I think you have to be here. It is important for you. And also, as Ilya told you, that we would be monitoring your progress on the OmicsLogic portal and also on the server. So we'll keep you updating here in the group as well, who's performing best, and let's see who does great. And then we have the general group as well, where we keep on updating everything about our upcoming programs. Now, talking about the program which we have tomorrow, that is the Chem Informatics for Biomedical Drug Discovery program. We have the first session of the program tomorrow, and those people who are enrolled in both the programs, we have kept the session on alternate days so that they can be a part of both the programs. So those who are interested for Chem Informatics for Biomedical Drug Discovery, they can register themselves on the program page. I'm sending you the link of the same. And I had today send out a promo code. You can simply put it out here while proceeding with your application. And also we would be closing the registrations for Chem Informatics program as well, because we would be starting tomorrow. And if you have any doubts, you can mail me at marketing@pine.bio. And also you can mail us at mohit@pine.bio. Shradindu, if I'm not wrong, you are a participant for all the programs, for all the 4 phases, and I've already added you. So you need to check your mail ID for the link of this for the Slack channel, and it would be definitely there, and you can then be a part of the group. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Sujit sir is here as well. And if not, then let's meet day after tomorrow.
Hi, Sonalika. I just had a question. Just because I'm in the East Coast, I was wondering
Yes.
what the schedule. So it's going to be, the class is going to be at this time like on the scheduled dates, right?
Yes, it would be as scheduled. So what time is it there for you?
For me, yeah, it works. I just I just need to mark it off on my calendar. It's 8. It started for me at 8:30 a.m. EST, and that
Yes.
works for me.
We still have a lot of things to
I'm
do.
sorry about that.
That's a
Good,
sign.
Tyler.
So how long is the session for again? Was it I didn't get the schedule, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay, so the session would be 1 hour, but it could go to 1 hour 15 minutes as well, because we keep on having discussions. People would be asking questions, and I would be sending out Google Calendar invites also to all our participants just after the session. So you would be having each and every session updated on your calendar, and it would be easy for you to keep a check on all the upcoming sessions. I think that would work for you.
Here's a red cocoa.
Right. And my next question was so once we have the live sessions, we will be able to, we are expected to go with the asynchronous sessions as well, right? The pre-recorded lessons. Will we be able to access that list? Like, okay, so if we have for the next class, this is the pre-recorded material that we need to watch.
Yes.
So
Yes, so here you have the asynchronous material as well, which you can go through at your own pace. So the participants, they get the access to each and everything. They get the access to all the courses and all the projects. We have sample projects as well on our portal, and I've given you the access already. So you can go to the portal and take up whatever course you want to. So as we are beginning with data science, so let's say you want to learn more before the session, let's say, or want to explore more, then you're most welcome. You can just start with the courses in the data science domain. Start with R, Python, or learn whatever you want to. It's completely up to you at your own pace.
thank you.
Welcome. And also, let's say Bria starts with our coding introduction to data science, and once she completes the course, there are a number of assignments in the course as well. You need to submit the assignments, and once you complete the course, only then you will get the certificate. And let me also tell you this, that we look forward to updated profiles. Like I told you that we keep on communicating the progress of each of the participant across our different social platforms. So I want you all to please update your profile with a profile picture, and also link all your social accounts, link your Facebook, LinkedIn, so that when we post about you across, people know who you are and what your progress is. And it's a great way to like stay updated with everything, right? Because if you're putting in so much efforts, then why not keep it on your profile as an achievement, and you would get the certificates once you complete the course. Okay, then it was nice meeting you all. If you still have any doubts, you can ask, or else you can mail. And also, Dr. Sujit, you can mail Dr. Sujit as well. We have something. Okay, Sarah. Thank you so
Hello.
much for being a part of. Yes, sir. Over to you.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, yes. Please ask. Go ahead.
Um, I'm trying to
What's your good
access
name,
the T
please?
server. My name is Mohit. I'm trying to
Okay.
access the T server bio account, but I'm not able to. It says invalid email or password.
Yeah,
I've
you
had the
just
account
texted
for,
me.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So are you using your TBA info server details, which we gave you?
Yeah, you sent a password to my mail, right?
Okay, so
Initially.
see, we have actually made few changes to our portal. We shifted from Edu portal over here. That's where there were few things that we were updating. So now on the TBio info server, you can also log in with the login credentials you used for the OmicsLogic portal. So that would work for you as well. So the ID and the password you use to log in on the OmicsLogic page, you can use that on the TBioInfo server as well. You need not require any extra credentials from us, and that should work for you. But still, if it does not, then you can text me over Slack or mail me, and I'll just fix it for you. Does it work?
Yeah, all right. Thanks. I am
Okay.
logging using my Gmail account, so I'm not sure what to do now. I
You're
don't have any credentials for
you
OmicsLogic.
you don't have any credentials, and you need not have any credentials. So when you sign up to OmicsLogic, you can do so with any of your ID or password. You can also do so with linking your social. So let's say I just sign up, and you have to make your own ID and password, or you can directly link in. Let's say I link in my Google account with it, and my net connection is little bad, that's why it would be slow, sorry. But yes, so the moment you sign up, my ID just pop up and you choose your account. It's completely up to you. That's what I want to say, creating your ID and password. So you can do one thing. Do you have any other ID except this one?
I can do that, but I lose the progress.
Yeah, that would
Got,
be an issue.
yeah.
That would be an issue. If you don't mind, can you share your credentials with me? Just after this session, I'll try to make it work for you.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, please mail me at marketing@pine.bio your credentials, and I'll just look forward to it, and I'll just fix it. Okay, then everyone, let's meet on Wednesday, 16th of June. We have second session. I would be looking forward to meeting you all, and till then, bye bye. Take care. Thank you so much, Dr. Sujit, for the wonderful session you gave us today.
Thank you, Sujit.